Today we are starting the work on the Chevelle. We are diving in head first and starting off with some engine mounts. So, last week I went to my local metal supplier and I scored myself some aluminum sheeting. This is 6mm thick and it's going to be the base of the engine mount. Also, I got my old engine plate. So the plan is that we're going to transfer the hole pattern in this plate over to the aluminum, cut it out on the bandsaw, drill some holes, and then test fit it in the car. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna trace the perimeter of all these holes and all of the outside perimeter of the plate. And then we are going to use the bandsaw and our drill to trace all of this out and remove the excess material. The hole pattern is a little bit tricky. We'll do our best to catch it. Do as good as a job as possible with all of the different holes. A trick that you can do here is when you're tracing, rotate the pen. The tip of the pen is at an angle. So if you trace it and you just hold it still, you're going to put the center line of the pen, it's off to the side. So if you rotate it when you're drawing, you're going to get a much clearer hole. And it will help you to get the center. And check to make sure all of the holes are in center. Do this one again. Okay, so now I have the perimeter holes. And now we're gonna figure out if any of these holes are for the Chevrolet engine. And I think I have a pretty good idea. Okay, I think that's it. So as you can see, I have all of the holes marked, but up here in the corner, we have some information that's missing. So we're going to use a straight edge and just take the mark of this ear over here. And we're going to transfer as best as I can over here. Perfect. So I like the way everything looks. It fitted nicely, but the hole pattern is slightly off. These are called transfer punches, and they're just a rod in different dimensions with a ground tip on the end. You can probably make them at home, but these are dirt cheap. Yeah, so what I figured out was if I take one of these and I shove them in right here, as you can see here, the center will be marked on the plate. The only problem is that I haven't got a hammer or something that I can hit with from here. At least not good. Maybe a small hammer could work. But I think if I just push this hard enough over here, I can get a little tiny mark on the plate. Okay, I will approach this from a different way. I'll still use these transfer punches, but I used some clamps, clamped the aluminum to the frame, and in my car I am lucky enough to have like this, what do you call it, subframe maybe, that holds the entire engine. So my thought is maybe I can fit a small hammer in here. Let's see. Yeah, maybe if I hit it from the side like this. So I think that worked out pretty good. As you can see, now I have small indents in the center of each hole where I can drill. There and there. So now let's get to drilling. Okay, so the engine plate and all of the holes seem to fit pretty good. Maybe a little bit of misalignment, but nothing you can solve with a file. Just a hair maybe on one or two of the holes, as I can see. Perfect. Okay, so it's another day. Today we're going to look into drilling out all of the holes for the engine, and also finding the center line of the crankshaft so we can trace our flex plate. Yeah. And to my help, I've cheated a little bit. I went into the CAD software and I got a drawing. This is a drawing of a small block Chevy, but it will fit this application as well. On this drawing we can see the bolt pattern with all of the holes. See, we can see here all of the holes and center positions of all of the holes, and also the center line of the crankshaft. So now it's only the matter of lining everything up and just transferring all of these locations. And we'll do that with a punch. But I think I'll need some tape maybe. So finding the location of the center hole here. That looks pretty much spot on. Then just folding the paper up and see if we're lining up with our other marks. Everything here looks good. Taping the paper. And then doing the same to the other side. That looks great. That looks great. Now it's as simple as taking a punch and just punching in the little X that's centered on the drawing. Okay, so everything is traced. We have the whole pattern under here. We can take the paper off and we'll see if everything lines up. It looks pretty good. Maybe a little shifted from my old plate. But I think that's really close. And we'll always have some wiggle room. We can always file these holes to adjust the entire engine placement. And also we can grind on the tabs down here because we want it standing on the plate on the chassis. Great. Let's take the flex plate and see if we can trace it here, or maybe we should drill all the holes first. Let's do some quick measuring from, see if we have any reference points here. Maybe from the bottom edge. See if this is pretty precise. Yeah, that's pretty good. So from the bottom edge, the lowest hole will be 17 centimeters on both sides. So it looks good. Great. What I think we will do now is to drill out all of these holes out, and then we can use this center point from our hole pattern, and we can trace the flex plate from there. So all of the holes are drilled, everything wound up nicely. I think this will fit good to the engine. I drilled them 10.5 millimeters. So a M10 bolt will fit just fine with a little bit of clearance. Yeah, let's trace the flex plate. Okay, so I traced the flex plate, just laid it on top, lined it up, scribed the mark, used the straight edge, just tidy it up some here. And I think when we're sawing this on the bandsaw, we will try to saw on the outer line, on the outline of this line, just to make sure that we have clearance to the flex plate itself. Okay, back at the table, everything looks good. I tried the mid plate with the flex plate, and I think that's perfect. 1/4 inch maybe along the sides. Yeah, great. Let's see if it fits the car. Okay, so I'm at the car. Everything looks really good. All of the holes line up. Everything looks, yeah, super great. I can't test it on the engine at this moment. The engine is on the engine cradle, so some of the holes here are blocked. But I looked at it towards the drawing that I know is correct, and also the old mid plate, and everything seems to line up just perfectly. So now I think I'm just going to round off some of the edges, clean them up a little bit, take a sander, sand the entire plate just to give it a nice surface finish, and we'll call it a day. Okay, so we're back at the table. I took out the old grinder. This is maybe not the best grinder, but I think it will do the job. So let's see if it works. Okay, that turned out pretty good. It's still a bit sharp, so I'll take the sander and I'll sand all of the edges just to make it more smooth. Maybe sand a little bit on the inside here. The saw actually leaves a pretty good, it's a rough finish, but it's not that sharp. So yeah. So now it's sanded. I think it looks really good, at least good enough for me. Maybe I could have done a little bit better job on the edges, but I only had 240 grit sandpaper. So this will do for now, and maybe I can come back and just clean those off. Yeah, let me clean everything up and we'll test fit it in the car. Okay, so I think that turned out nicely. The only thing left to do is try and install the engine, bolt everything up, and drill out the dowel pin holes. As I said earlier, I think I'm going to file those. just to make sure that they fit really nicely to the block. But yeah, it looks good. Okay, so I think that's a wrap for this episode. If you like my content here, please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any future ideas or any thoughts, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.